Hey everybody, welcome back to Lindsay's Little Library. So we are on our next stage of the bookshelf cleanout, and I know I moved into my mystery thriller suspense books, but I kind of forgot about two shelves that are hidden behind a table I have by my desk, and they're my nonfiction shelves, and they got a little out of hand. So ignore my messy kitchen, but that's how much I have. And I really want to keep it to just two shelves. So I gotta be pretty brutal. This is ridiculous. Okay, I'm like prepping myself. Be tough. All right, here we go. Let's see. There are a handful of oh my gosh, a handful of Erik Larson books. So we have Isaac's Storm. I think somebody gave me this copy. A Man, A Time in the Deadliest Hurricane in History, which I believe is what hit Galveston, Texas, which I'm kind of obsessed with this story. I've already read one book about it. I just hauled another book about it, and now I have this nonfiction. So that one is staying. I also have In the Garden of Beasts and Dead Wake by Erik Larson, which I, again, am interested in. I read Devil in the White City by him and enjoyed the majority of it, not all of it. So we're gonna give his books another try. We're gonna keep those on the shelf. This is gonna be so hard. Oh, this is gonna be so hard. Okay. Just going through, I'm like, yep, keep. Okay, Trevor Noah's Born a Crime. This is, I don't know how many copies of this I have bought because I keep buying them and I keep giving them to people and saying, go read this book because it's just brilliant. Trevor Noah's not here. Skylar, not here, no. But he was born in South Africa during the apartheid to a black mother. Yeah, his mother was black, his father was white. So he was literally born a crime because that was illegal. It is so fantastic. It's hilarious. I love it. That stays on my shelf. Okay. Radium Girls, I have yet to read, but I've heard really good things about. Somebody just listened to this. So the story of the women who were they making watches? Hundreds of girls paint watch faces amidst the glowing dust of the radium dial factories. So I've heard good things. That one's staying. Let's see. I have maybe... This one can go in my try chapter. Hell in the Heartland by Jax Miller. Murder Meth in the Case of Two Missing Girls. I believe this happened in rural Oklahoma in the 90s. Stranger than fiction cold case from rural Oklahoma that stumped authorities for 2 decades concerning the disappearance of 2 teenage girls and the much larger mystery of murder. Possible police cover-up and an unimaginable truth. No, I want to keep that one. Told you this one's, I don't know why, this is going to be the hardest one. Reagan Diaries, I'm actually going to put on my husband's shelf. He's the political dude in the family. Although this looks like it would be interesting too. But, if I put it on his shelf, I can still read it. It's like cheating, but it's okay. Stolen Lives, I picked up. I was with Amanda, and we both picked this up. And we want to read it together. So, Amanda, we should read this together. Malika is born into extreme privilege as the daughter of the king of Morocco's closest aide. 1972, her life of luxury comes to a halt. Her father was executed for attempting to assassinate the king. She and her family were in prison for 2 decades, and this is their story. I've heard great things about it. Woman of No Importance. This is the untold story of the American spy who helped with World War II by Sonia Purnell. Again, heard great things about it. We'll keep that one. Open Book by Jessica Simpson. Grabbed this from the library. I do really want to read this. I remember watching Newlyweds. I loved Jessica Simpson. I'm interested. I'll probably read and then obviously get, turn it over to somebody else. In the Garden of Spite, another one I want to keep, by Camilla Bruce. This one is about one of the most prolific female serial killers in American history and the men who drove her to it. Yep, keeping that one. Dear Fahrenheit 451 by Annie Spence. This is so good. So good. If you are a lover of books, you will love this book. This is Annie is a librarian who crafted love letters and breakup notes to both the iconic and eclectic books she encountered over her years. It's so great. It's so great. There's some really funny ones. There's some serious ones. Oh my gosh. Dear Ice Skater's Bible 1982 edition. The only reason I'm keeping you is out of a fierce loyalty to the award-winning film The Cutting Edge. Topic. Like, it's just so great. All right. Educated by Tara Westover. I think I can pass on. I've read this. I enjoyed it. I know there's some controversy around it, but I enjoyed it. I think it's a great read. If you're interested, I'm going to put this in my Pango shop because I need to make room for other books. Let's see. Gosh, there's just so many good ones. I have 84 Charing Cross Road. This is by Helen Hanf. First published in 1970, brings together 20 years of correspondence between Helen and a freelance writer living in Chicago and a used book dealer in London. It's all letters. This should be a pretty quick read. I'm keeping that one. Plus it doesn't take up much room. Only Plane in the Sky. Oral History of 9/11, Garrett Graff. Everyone needs to read this. I know it's hard and it's going to be a heavy read, and but it needs to be read, and it's staying on my shelf because that's one I will revisit for sure. Okay, couple ones down here. We have Unknown Valor, Story of Family, Courage, and Sacrifice from Pearl Harbor to Iwo Jima. We have Admiral Chester Nimitz spoke of the uncommon valor of the men who fought in Iwo Jima, one of the bloodiest, most brutal battles of World War II. I don't know. I think we're going to pass this one on. Because it was from library, I'm going to put this in a free little library. David McCullough, Pioneers. I've always wanted to read a book by him. I haven't yet. We have Dramatic Chapter in American Story, The Settling of the Northwest Territory by pioneers who overcame incredible hardships to build a community based on ideals that would come to define our country. So we'll put that. Let's put this in the Try It chapter. How about that? I haven't put anything there yet. All right, Captive by Ashley Smith. The Untold Story of the Atlanta Hostage Hero. 2005, Ashley made headlines around the globe when she miraculously talked her way out of the hands of an alleged courthouse killer, Brian Nichols, after he took her hostage for 7 hours in her suburban apartment. Shares details of her ordeal and explains how her faith in the best-selling book, The Purpose-Driven Life, helped her survive. Well, that's interesting. We're going to keep that one. You Are a Badass. This one I have annotated, I have highlighted. I think about this. I will go back to this. This one's going to stay on my shelf because it's a good reminder that I am a badass. Oh man, guys. Okay, Hillbilly Elegy by J.D. Vance. Another, I think, controversial book based on current events. At the time I enjoyed it. Now I'm annoyed with it. And I'm going to sell it. So it was interesting. I'm going to give you that. Like, it was interesting. There's things in here that still make me think about how poverty and addiction still works in this country, but I'm not going to go into it. So it's going on my Pango shop. If you are interested in it, I still say you should read it. Memoirs of a Kamikaze. This is World War II pilot's story of survival, honor, and reconciliation. Staying on my shelf. I've heard really good things about this book as well. Once Upon a Farm. This is by Lewis Stark. My grandmother is actually in here. I used to know what page, but it talks about growing up on a Wisconsin dairy farm and living on a Wisconsin dairy farm. So we're going to keep that one just because of how much I love her. She's just the best. Eli Wiesel, Night. This one's staying on my shelf forever. Seems to be the theme. Oh my goodness. Okay, couple of books that I think I'm gonna put on my husband's shelf because of what they are. People's History of the United States by Howard Zinn. I have looked through this. I've actually looked things up in here. Very interesting. As well as The American Story, Conversations with Master Historians. Various authors did stories on various leaders and presidents from the United States. Oh, look at that everywhere. So we're gonna put those on his shelf because I can, because I'm in charge. Before and After. This is by Judy Christie and Lisa Wingate. This is the kind of companion book I'm going to call to Before We Were Yours with Lisa Wingate. These are the real life stories of the orphans who survived the Tennessee Children's Home Society, and need to get to that one because I loved Before We Were Yours. Stolen Innocence, Growing Up in a Polygamous Sect by Alyssa Wall. Keeping that one. Okay. Under the Banner of Heaven, have yet to read, but I'm keeping that one as well. Heard great things. Also, this one, Yukon Wild by Beth Johnson. This was talked about in our first reading retreat. So I still need to get to that one. We're going to keep that. Okay. The Geography of Bliss by Eric Weiner. One Grump's Search for the Happiest Place on Earth. We'll do try a chapter with that one. Happiness Project by Gretchen Rubin. I never did read. We're gonna do a try a chapter with that one. I know, don't come at me, or come at me and tell me that I'm totally wrong. Flu. This is the story of the great influenza pandemic of 1918 and the search for what caused it. Interested in it, but we'll try a chapter. This is going to hurt. The Secret Diaries of a Junior Doctor by Adam Kay. I'm very excited about this one. We have kind of takes the, I don't know, brings to light exactly what happens as you're attempting to become a doctor. So we're gonna maybe read that and probably scare myself, let's be honest. All right, Victim F. This is a book my mom read, said it was great. From crime victims to suspects to survivors. So there is a very bizarre kidnapping that happens, and then these people, like, the police claim that they made it up, and it's a wild story. I think it was like a 2020 or Dateline episode on it, but there's more to the story, so definitely interested in that one. I need to get better at a nonfiction. So we have Midnight at Chernobyl by Adam Higginbotham. I've heard this is kind of a hard read, so I think I'm going to put this in my try a chapter. Not hard read like can't, like hard, like difficult to read what actually happened, but more of the way it's written is hard to understand. I don't know. Unmasked: My Life of Solving America's Cold Cases by Paul Holes. I still want to read that one. We're going to keep that one. Okay. 10% Happier by Dan Harris. Read this one, really enjoyed it. So I'm going to put this on my Panko shop because other people should read it. It's great. Uncommon Type by Tom Hanks. I have yet to finish this one. All short stories, and I think typewriters play a part in all of it. We're going to keep that. The Sun Does Shine. Love. And I borrow this to people and just, yes, the staying on my shelf. It's so fantastic. About someone being on death row. It's how I found life and freedom on death row. 30 years on death row he spent. It's crazy. Catch and Kill by Robin Farrow. This one came off of the Christmas Book Exchange book. Says it's not a book about fishing, but it still stinks. Dramatic account of violence and espionage. Exposes serial abusers and a cable of powerful interests hell-bent on covering up truth at any costs. We're going to keep that on the shelf. The U.S. Constitution. Keep that on the shelf because I might have to refer to it every so often. Luminous is the story of a Radium Girl. I think it's like the young adult version. So I kind of want to read them both. See what happens. So many good books. Okay. Damnation Island, Poor, Sick, Mad, and Criminal in 19th Century New York. I must have paid $3 for it. Oh my gosh, this book is like brand new. 2-mile stretch of land in New York's East River, 19th century horror story was unfolding. We call it Roosevelt Island, then it was Blackwell's, site of a lunatic asylum, 2 prisons, an almshouse, and a number of hospitals. All right, it investigates Blackwell's. We're keeping that on the shelf. Let's see, Team of Rivals. This one's gonna go on Matt's shelf. Well, it's big and fat and about Abraham Lincoln, which I do need to do a video on all the Abraham Lincoln books that I have, because I have a lot, including this one, American Marriage, Untold Story of Abraham Lincoln and Mary Todd. I'm keeping that one on my shelf. Capital Gains. This is so great. It's by Chip Gaines, Joanna and Chip Gaines. They had a show on HGTV. They own like the Magnolia Farms stuff. It's really, really, really great. I don't know why I have this marked. Never quit your dream. Must have marked them for a reason. But yeah, we're gonna put this on Pango because somebody needs to read that. It needs to get off my shelf and somebody else needs to get from it. I still think about that book. It's so great. Another Greg Olson book, which I absolutely loved. Greg Olson's If You Tell. This is American Mother. True story of a troubled family, motherhood, and the cyanide murders that shock the world. That's good. Glass Castle, I did finally read. Somebody gave it to me for Christmas book exchange, and I read it right away. It's Jeanette Wells. It's her life growing up with some very interesting parents who were homeless at some points. So again, pick this up. It'll be in my Pango shop. You need to get it. You need to get it. Let's see. In the Heart of the Sea, The Tragedy of the Whale Ship Essex. I think we're gonna put this in the Pango shop as well. Not really interested anymore. Honestly, don't know where I got it from. We have The Library Book by Susan Orlean. We're keeping this. Love Letter to a Beloved Institution, an investigation into one of its greatest mysteries from the national bestselling blah, 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 blah. So that one's staying on my shelf. Oh, another one from the library. Welcome to the Goddamn Ice Cube. Chasing Fear and Finding Home in the Great White North by Blair Braverman. Rich and revelatory memoir of a young woman reclaiming her courage in the stark landscapes of the North. We'll put that in the try a chapter. We have Framed by John Grisham. Definitely want to get to this one. True stories of wrongful convictions. We have Anxious Generation, which I just hauled. Definitely going to get to that one. That's staying on my shelf. Sharon McMahon's book. Oh, another book that's so fantastic. Small and Mighty. I loved it, loved it, loved it. Saw her in person. It was fantastic. That's staying on my shelf as well. The Mona Lisa Vanishes. Really liked it. Will I actually give it to people to read? Probably not. Let's put this on Pango. And you should get it. It's a YA nonfiction about the Mona Lisa and kind of its claim to fame. It was really, really, really interesting. Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins. This one's staying on my shelf forever and I need to reread it on an annual basis. It is life-changing. Notes on a Silencing by Lacey Crawford. This one I think I picked up from a used bookstore. St. Paul School comes under state investigation after extensive reports of sexual abuse on campus. Why don't we do a try a chapter on that one? Diary of Anne Franks. That one's staying. 5 Days at Memorial. This is what happened at Memorial Hospital during Katrina and kind of what they went through. I'm going to do a try a chapter on that one. Let's see. James Elroy's American Tabloid talks about, okay, we're the CIA, the mob, J. Edgar Hoover, Howard Hughes, Jimmy Hoffa, Cuban political exiles, and various loose cannons conspire in a covert anarchy where the right drugs the right amount of cash, the right murder buys a moment of man's loyalty. Where 3 renegade law enforcement officers are shaping events with the virulence of their greed and hatred, riding full blast shotgun into history. Interesting. Okay, we're gonna put this on try chapter. see what that's about. Dead Mountain has been on my pile forever. Untold story of the Dyatlov Pass incident. That it's a group of 9 hikers who went into the Russian mountains, died mysteriously at an elevation known as Dead Mountain. We'll do a try chapter with that. It's been on my list forever and I haven't picked it up. Ray Drummond, Frontier Follies, Adventures, Marriage, Motherhood in the Middle of Nowhere. Let's do try a chapter for that too. See, now I'm getting better. 5 love languages for teenagers. I'm almost to my teenagers. I gotta read that. Okay, try a chapter, we'll get it there. Notorious RBG. Another really great book. Really great book. So it's about Ruth Bader Ginsburg, but it has a Notorious BRG like rap kind of thing to it, because so like all of the chapter titles are song titles. I gotta find it. I just love your flashy ways. Anyways, and then in it, as you're reading, there are kind of annotations about stuff. It's really, really great. I'm gonna put it in Pango, and you guys gotta get your hands on this if you're interested in Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and if not, you should be, because she was amazing. Daring Greatly by Brené Brown. Still need to get to this book, so we'll keep that on my shelf. Red Notice. This is a true story of high finance murder and one man's fight for justice by Bill Broder. American-born financier in the wild east of Russia, the murder of his principled young attorney and his dangerous mission to expose the people responsible in the Kremlin. Sounds so good. We're gonna keep that one. This one, I Heard You Paint Houses. This is Frank the Irishman, Shireen, and closing the case on Jimmy Hoffa. We'll keep that one. I've heard it's great. We have the trial of Lizzie Borden. We're gonna keep that one because hello. All right, and we have a couple of leftovers down here. We have Towers Falling, about 9/11, so we'll keep that. We have Brain on Fire by Susan Cahalan, right? I read her second book before I read this book. So it's like, do I know what kind of happened? I'll put this in try a chapter. I have Get Out of Your Head, Stop the Spiral of Toxic Thoughts, and then Authentic Confidence. We're going to keep both of those. Those are really great self-help. And then The Indifferent Stars Above, the Donner Party story. We're also going to keep that. So I did pretty well, I think. We're only putting 4 here. We'll show you the piles over here. Pango pile, Free Little Library. I'm not going to mess with taking that off. Going on Matt's shelf, try chapters, and then this is what's going back on my 2 shelves. So I think that's perfect. We have cleaned it up quite nicely. I was a little more nervous about this, but I think we did a good job. So thank you for helping me. I'm going to put these in author order, alphabetical order, and put them back on the shelf. I need to actually dust it off right now because they're like the bottom shelves, so they're I'm not even going to show you. They're not good. And then get them back on. So that'll feel good to have that cleaned up. And we're gonna keep going. So I hope you're here for the long haul because there's a lot more videos to come. But if there's anything here that you think for sure needs to go back on the shelf, let me know. If there's anything I'm putting on my shelf that you think I could probably pass on, let me know that too. I appreciate your help and I absolutely take your feedback to heart. So there we go. All right, leave an emoji below. I don't know, leave like a number. Just give me a number. Any number will do. Just to say that you were here and say hi, unless you want to comment. Of course, I love to chat books. But yeah, I will see you next time. Have a great day. Bye.